Hello, and welcome to Mission Support, where we shine a light on the MFLAG counselors making a difference in the lives of military service members and their families. Each episode, we share real stories of timely and effective support facilitated by the Magellan Federal MFLAG team. I'm Nicolette.
And I'm Teresa.
And continuing our theme from our last episode, we are highlighting our CYB MFLAG counselors, whose work really elevates our military children and families. With summer camps, it's important to recognize the work that MFLAGs do, both on the inside and outside of the school year.
For our mission moment today, we look to CYB MFLAG Edna Stevens, who works at a school with one of the largest Army bases practically in her backyard. The military has always been part of her existence, but as a child, Edna was oblivious to how people dedicated their lives to protect our country. As Edna grew up, she became more aware of the sacrifices that service members and veterans make. She knew Gulf War veterans and then, along with the rest of the country, experienced the tragedy of September 11th. That event and the ensuing war led her to think about those who serve and the impact it has on the military families with deployed loved ones. A few years later, as support programs were created for the families of deployed service members, the MFLAG program began school assignments. This was an opportunity for Edna to become a resource for families and to provide students with non-medical counseling right where they are. In August 2014, Edna made the decision to change the trajectory of her career and become an MFLAG. During Edna's first years in MFLAG, there were many unknowns and frustrations, and Edna wasn't sure if being an MFLAG was the right decision. But each day, when she met with the children who were so eager and caring, Edna knew she couldn't quit when they needed her. As the school year came to a close, there was a family night for military families at one of the elementary schools. During the event, a kindergarten military student stopped by with his father and told Edna that he was moving. This was her first experience with someone PCSing, and she felt confused and shocked and sad. However, even though the child was sad, he relayed the news with strength. That was the moment that Edna truly understood how important the MFLAG role is and how much she wanted to be an MFLAG. She had made a difference in this boy's life. 10 years later, making a difference in the lives of military students and their families is still the greatest reason why Edna continues as an MFLAG. Since that first year, she's experienced dozens of students PCSing with their families, and Edna still feels sad every time a student moves away. Edna is amazed by their strength and resilience as they deal with the challenges of military life. Edna is grateful that she can support military students and their families and help create a place of welcome and trust. While being an MFLAG isn't always easy, it's always been worth it.
Thank you, Edna, for sharing. It's important to realize, although military life can be ever-changing, MFLAGs can be a source of stability for so many service members and their families.
Absolutely, Nicolette. Whether it's relocations, as Edna described in her mission moment, or long deployments, and the stress of the day-to-day, military families can benefit from connecting with an MFLAG to learn strategies to cope and even thrive. You know, Nicolette, as a military spouse myself, and my family and I have experienced several PCS moves over the last 18 years. And I can tell you, PCSing can be a very stressful experience, especially for military connected children who are leaving the familiarity of their homes and routines and schools and communities for the unknown of a new duty station. And PCSing impacts the entire community. And flight counselors may also notice that the impact that these PCS moves have on these assignment sites and even within themselves. And it's important to feel the things that Edna felt, confused or shocked or even sad by the impact of the revolving door of PCSing families and military communities. As we continually say, see you later, to some of the families, while at the same time, others are arriving and settling into the same places. It can be difficult to watch so many families coming and going And it can even seem as though the work supporting PCSing families is never done. There's always another family either preparing to move or arriving to the new duty station. And this is where MFLAG counselors, as you mentioned, Nicolette, have a positive impact on military families and military-connected students. Edna supported students during their parents' deployment, and then in this particular case, as they prepared to move to the next duty station. It's a great example of the multifaceted role that MFLAG counselors play in supporting the military community.
That's so true. MFLAGs can and do serve as that certain comforting force in an uncertain situation can be tough for service members. So, in keeping with our shining a light on CYB, let's talk to Buffy Alloway. She provides for one camper who need a little extra support in the summer.
Hello, my name is Buffy Alloway. I have worked at the summer camp 7 of the past 8 years as a military and family life counselor, MFLAC. It gives me an opportunity to expand my experience. One of the unique things about summer camp is that there is a smaller number of students, and you have an opportunity to spend more time with each of them. In doing this, you gain a greater sense of who the students are, their personalities, likes, and dislikes pretty quickly. Typically, there are anywhere from 42 to 46 students, and the age ranges from ages 6 to 12. Some of the students there are just visiting their parents for the summer. Some of the students will be PCSing before the beginning of the next school year. And then there are students where the base is their parents' permanent duty station. Typically, the summer camp assignment runs from May until August, just before the school year starts. And it's an opportunity for the students to have some fun, participating in trips to places like the Science Center, to learn more about STEM, the world of Coca-Cola, learning the chemistry and the makeup of how products are made, going to the botanical garden, and learning more about horticulture and growing plants. It's just an all-around experience for them. They get an opportunity to socialize and learn different social and coping skills when we attend bowling events or going swimming together, or sometimes they have an opportunity to participate in putt-putt golf. There's just a wide range of field trips that the students take part in, and I'm able to accompany the students on these trips. It really builds the rapport between the students and the MFLAC. One of the main things that they learn through the summer program is just building up their resiliency muscles. It brings me to my success story for today. I was approached by the staff at the youth center and informed that a mother had come in and she was already aware that I was the MFLAC for the summer program. She requested that I spend some time with her child since they had lost a sibling. I had noticed that the child had been a little bit withdrawn, and in an unintrusive way, I observed the child's behavior with the other students. I took the opportunity to spend a little bit more time with the child to see if I could provide support, comfort, and a safe space for the child to open up about any situations that they wanted to address. Learning that the student had lost a sibling around this time of year, the mother explained to staff, it made sense. I immediately saw an opportunity to utilize the Sesame Street resources. I have explored the resources and utilized them on different occasions, such as divorce and other areas. The Sesame Street Library offers an opportunity to connect with students on a level that they understand. A few weeks earlier, Sesame Street had sent out an email regarding grief, and in preparation for the summer program, I had earmarked resources to keep on hand. I took the opportunity to browse the library and identify certain things that I wanted to work with the student on, and also resources that I wanted to provide to the family so that they could utilize them in their home as a supplement to the things I would be working with the child on. Later, I had an opportunity to observe the child further, just to see how the child was coping from day to day. I decided to utilize the memory bracelet activity and the feelings detective. The child responded very well to the activity, and was able to color code the memory bracelet and dedicate a different color to various memories of their sibling. This seemed to have brought the child comfort. Also, in an effort to provide service to the other students who may have experienced some type of loss, whether it was a family member or a pet, to build resiliency, I spoke with the Youth Center staff about conducting the activity of the memory bracelet, as well as a mosaic collage activity to better support not only the student I was working with on grief, but the other students. This activity was used to increase their coping skills for the future if needed. The mother notified the Youth Center staff that she and her husband were very appreciative of the resources that were provided for additional support for her child, and the child seemed to open up more after the activities had taken place. Some of the other materials provided were the Stages of Grief handout, Finish the Sentence grief activity, a memory box activity handout, a rock garden activity instruction sheet, and the feelings detective worksheet that was utilized with the student during the memory bracelet activity, along with links to the Sesame Street resources and videos on grief to view in the privacy of their own home. Being at MFLAC and providing non-medical counseling support to campers, staff, parents, and guardians is rewarding each day. It gives me an opportunity to do what I love and to serve a population that deserves what we have to offer and much more. Any opportunity to assist families in navigating military life challenges is an honor, and I'm happy to serve in this capacity. I have experienced my own loss of my brother in 2005 in Iraq, so I know that without a doubt, every encounter counts.
Thank you so much, Buffy, for sharing. That was really an impactful story, and how much you really have an effect on the children that you helped during summer camp. So are you participating in any summer program activities this year? Any standout stories that you want to share?
Yes, this summer, I have once again been given the opportunity to provide MFLAC services, and as in past years, it has been an incredibly rewarding experience. Many of the campers have returned to the base for their third consecutive summer, creating a sense of familiarity and continuity. Each year, I collaborate with the school liaison program managers to identify resources that support families as they transition to their next duty station, retire, deploy, or relocate. This summer was no exception. Through this effort, the items received were valuable tools for both students and parents. The items foster connection while building resiliency and embracing change. Included were the Military OneSource information offering global access to free support and resources, EFMP, Exceptional Family Member Program materials for families with specialized educational or medical needs, information about the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, the MIC3, to ease educational transition, guidance on connecting with an MFLAC at the family's next duty station, and keepsakes for the children to remember their summer camp friendships and experiences. These contributions, facilitated by the school liaison program managers, sometimes involve deployment kits or relocation kits, and play a meaningful role in supporting military family resilience. While it may be a small gesture, I'm honored to play a part in easing these transitions.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those resources, Buffy.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Thank you so much, Buffy, for sharing your story and sharing additional resources that can be useful to other service members and their families.
I agree. So partnering with program managers and other points of contact to offer additional resources is an integral part of being an MFLAC. Fostering relationships, not only with service members, but also with those around you, with your team, is so important. I want to share with anybody listening where you can find some of the resources that Buffy mentioned. Let's talk about Military OneSource. Military OneSource can access through militaryonesource.mil. And this is a website that offers global access to free support and resources and includes even a 1-800 number that service members and families can access for 24/7 support. Check out the number and all of the available resources on militaryonesource.mil. They can access anything from non-medical counseling virtually to spouse career support or even PCSing support. It's a great resource for MFLACs to know to support service members and families. Then I want to mention the EFMP, the Exceptional Family Member Program. That program exists to support families with special educational or medical needs. You can find out more about the Army's EFMP program by going to efmp.army.mil. You can also access the EFMP offices at different locations wherever your nearest military installation is. And lastly, let's talk about the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, the MIC3, we sometimes call it. And that is an agreement across the country for states who've agreed to support transitioning military-connected students as they move due to PCS orders. It's intended to ease educational transitions. You can find out more by going to mic3.net for more information about the specific guidelines that are located within that agreement.
Awesome. Those are fantastic. Thank you, Teresa, for sharing. You may also find additional resources on MagellanMFLAC.org in clinical resources. There are tools, there's support, and most of all, there are people that care.
Absolutely, Nicolette. And if you liked what you heard today, check out the Business Innovations Hub, which is also on the website that Nicolette mentioned. There you can listen to future episodes of the podcast as they're posted and even take a survey to give us feedback about what you heard today. Remember, that's located at www.magellanmflac.org.
Thank you so much for listening. This has been Mission Support.